I have a question for you. What was by far and without question the biggest cultural phenomenon in the United States of America this past year? By the way, there's only one right answer. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. I'm here on Call Nitty to talk to you about Taylor Swift. Her tour, as you know, filled venues like Gillette for as many nights as she chose to play in any city. Her concerts brought hundreds of thousands of fans. Her concerts pumped millions of dollars of revenue into the local economy. So many people wanted to go to her concerts. As you know, the Ticketmaster crashed. Now, what was it about these Taylor Swift concerts that had such a unique and immense gravitational pull? So I have some inside information. 2 of our children are certified Swifties. They know all of her 300 songs by heart, and they went to the concerts, and they traveled to different cities to go to the concerts. So I said to them, help your aging father understand this. Why? Why? What is it about the Taylor Swift thing that just makes her so irresistible to so many? And they both said the same thing. They both said that going to a Taylor Swift concert is a religious experience. They're killing me now. I'm telling you, they're killing me now. They're killing me. I'm not even done. They said, going to a Taylor Swift concert is like Naila for 3 hours. I said, how so? They said, you have thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. They're all, many of them ritually dressed, not in kittles. They're dressed in different songs, outfits that correspond to different songs in different albums. They know her songs by heart. They are screaming the words of her songs with her while she's singing. Most fans end up hoarse at the end of the night, and it's just completely intense. They said Taylor Swift concerts are about 3 things: about building community, shared rituals, and bringing people together. Now, I'm a big fan of the Taylor Swift thing and the concerts, but they're very expensive, and you can't go that often. I mean, at most, you go once or twice in a lifetime to a Taylor Swift concert. You're never going to guess where I'm going with this. You are just never, ever going to get, the suspense is going to kill you. You're never going to guess where I'm going with this. Okay, we are going to be called the Taylor Swift Synagogue. Because the same 3 things that are her secret sauce are our sacred sauce. That's why it's going to be the Taylor Swift Synagogue. So, for example, building community is core to the whole concert thing, okay? Building community is what we do, and we do it every day. We do it 365 days a year. We even do it. We're even open on Yom Kippur. That's how serious we are about doing this every day. We're open on Yom Kippur. So there's a woman who comes to the evening minyan every day after she lost her husband. And I once asked her, what is the reason? I love having you, but tell us the story. So she said that after she lost her husband, the evening hours were the hardest hours. Got to be dark in her home, dark, lonely. So she would drive her car to 385 Ward Street. And it was light, and it was bright, and there was energy, and there was happiness. And she'd walk into the building, and she would see Israeli dancers in Adelson Community Hall. And she would see bar and bat mitzvah kids with smiles on their faces and with binders coming back and forth, to and fro. Energy, energy, energy. And she said she would go into the service into the Gant Chapel. She'd get there early. There were always people. She said one of the things she always missed when her husband died was nobody to ask her at the end of the day, how was your day? And when she goes to the Gant Chapel, there's the same people that ask her, how was your day? and the service is lovely and short. And then people hang around and schmooze. So you know that the greatest epidemic in America today is loneliness. And the antidote to loneliness is the community that we create here at Temple Emmanuel 7 days a week, 365 days a year, including Yom Kippur. The second thing that we have in common with the Taylor Swift thing is shared rituals. So we have a beautiful shared ritual here. For the last 9 years, there's a pair of twins, Hannah and David Snyder, who come with their parents, Jay and Dina, every Shabbos. They never miss. Every Shabbos, they come and sit in their accustomed seats, and they have shul friends that they meet there, and they imbibe the values of our community from those services. And one of the values that they have imbibed at the age of 9 is an undying love of Israel. And this year, Israel sponsored some contest for kids. Tell us why you love Israel. And 9-year-old Hannah and David Snyder entered the contest, and wouldn't you know it, they won. And the state of Israel is sponsoring them to go to Israel as a family. And the day they found out, they came to the Temple Emmanuel to spread the good news. And the first Shabbos, they took an aliyah. So here's the deal about shared rituals. Shared rituals create shared moments, which creates shared values and shared memories, and maybe even an all-expense trip to Israel. And the third thing that we have in common with the Taylor Swift concert thing is bringing diverse people together. Now, this is just so cool. This is one of the coolest things that happened in my years here. Last spring, we had this thing called the Through the Decades Shabbatot, in which people were invited to come for special aliyah during the decade that they joined, with other people who joined in that decade. And literally, it went from the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, I'm going to go through the whole series, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, I'm not done yet, 2000s, the aughts, 2010s, and the 2020s. And a couple of things about all these through the decades aliyot that were fantastic. Okay, first, Hashem made a miracle, and every aliyah was robustly attended. Even the people who came from the 1940s and 1950s, robustly attended. And second, here's the real miracle. Everybody who came, no matter what decade they joined, would say some version of the following story. And if you were here, you heard it. They would say, you know what, Temple Emmanuel is the longest institution that I have a relationship with in my entire life. I went to Cheder here. My kids went to religious school, had their bar and bat mitzvah here. My kids had their wedding here. My grandkids are now in this school. You know what, when my parents died, it was Temple Emmanuel people who came to the Shiva. You know what, when my kids got married, it was Temple Emmanuel people who were dancing with us at the wedding. I don't have a relationship with any institution that is longer or more sacred than my relationship with Temple Emmanuel. Now, Temple Emmanuel is here for us 7 days a week, every day of the year. This is our one opportunity to really be super duper helpful to Temple Emmanuel. I'm telling you, it costs a lot of money to raise a thriving synagogue. Here's what we need resources for. Our building is old. It was built in 1997. So it's an aging building that needs maintenance. Ka-ching, ka-ching. It takes resources to be hybrid so that everybody's connected in the way that they want to be connected. It takes resources after Pittsburgh and with rising anti-Semitism to make sure we have security so that we are all safe. It takes resources. We have learners who are 1 year old and 101 years old. It takes different educators to reach all of our generations. And we want to be a shul for all, that money is never a reason to not be a member of Temple Emmanuel. And all of that takes resources, and the annual appeal is what makes that happen. The annual appeal is a quarter of our budget, which means, literally, I'm telling you this on Yom Kippur, we could not do what we do without our annual appeal, which means we could not do what we do without you. Now, Taylor Swift gave a $100,000 tip to all the members of her crew. That cost her $55 million. We probably don't need that much to run the synagogue for this next year. But please give as generously as you can. If you've never given, please give. And if you've given, please give again generously so that we can do community building, sharing rituals, bringing people together for another year, through the decades, and through the generations. And if you can do that, Taylor Swift will thank you. Gemar Tov.